I'm saving $10,710, almost $11,000 more in taxes than you every single year. The more money you make, the more money you save. What's up, family? Welcome back to another episode of Tax-Free Living. And today's episode is amazing, just like all our other episodes, right? Because I'm going to be teaching you how to upgrade your LLC to an S corporation, and I'm gonna give you a full walkthrough on exactly how you can do it. So if you've been liking the content, if you've been liking any of the other videos, please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and hit that share button, because today's episode is gonna be crazy. I'm gonna show you a step-by-step walkthrough of a strategy that's gonna save you hundreds of thousands of dollars in taxes, potentially, right, over the years. And not only that, you can actually make money from the information I'm gonna give you all today, because if you're an accountant or you're in the accounting space, you can charge your clients for upgrading their LLC to S corporation, and I'm gonna give you a full walkthrough on how to do it today. I've made hundreds of thousands of dollars doing this, and if I can do it, you can do it too. All right, so let's get into it. Before the walkthrough, let's first talk about why do you want to upgrade to S Corp? When do you need to upgrade to S Corp? Then we'll get into the how to upgrade to S Corp, right? So let's break it down. So when do you wanna make that shift from LLC to S Corp, right? So LLC is an amazing starting out entity, right? When you're starting your business, I want you to set up the LLC, get your EIN, get your business bank account, do all that jazz. But there is a point where an LLC will no longer serve you. And that point is once you start making more than $40,000 of net income for the year, it is then time for you to upgrade your LLC into the beloved S corporation, okay? So if your business made $80,000 in revenue, but you had $20,000 in expenses, that means you have $60,000 of profit. And that means it's time for you to upgrade from an LLC to an S corporation. And just so you all know, because some of you are like, well, why don't we just start directly as an S corporation, right? Well, the S corporation is not an actual entity. An S corporation is actually an election status. So you either need to set up an LLC and get it taxed as an S corp, or set up a C corp and get it taxed as an S corp. That's why I recommend get your LLC first, operate your business, and then once you see that you're making over that $40,000 net income for the year, and then simply make the upgrade from the LLC to the S corporation. So that's the simple of when to do it, right? Now let's talk about the why, right? I get this question all the time. Well, Carter, why do you push S Corp so much? How do they actually help us? Well, S Corps help us out because S Corps help us save tremendously on self-employment taxes, okay? So for those of you all that didn't know, when you have a business, you're gonna pay federal taxes, you're gonna pay state taxes, depending on the state that you're in, but you're also gonna pay this thing called FICA taxes. And FICA taxes, AKA self-employment taxes, is 15.3% in addition to the federal and state. So this is an additional 15.3% that you're gonna have to pay in taxes on all the income that your business generates. So let's do an example. If you had an LLC and you were making $100,000 of net income, you would have to pay 15.3% in self-employment taxes, which means you will have an additional $15,300 in taxes you would have to pay per year. Let's say I have an S Corp, right? And the beautiful thing about S Corps is with S Corps, you have to pay yourself a salary. The salary that you pay yourself gets hit with self-employment taxes. And that's okay, because the rest of the money completely avoids self-employment taxes. So if you were an LLC making $100,000, right, and you have to pay self-employment taxes about 15.3%, and if I was an S Corp, I could pay myself a salary, right, a reasonable salary, which is about 30% of your net income. I would pay self-employment taxes on that $30,000, but the other $70,000 completely avoids self-employment tax. So if we do 70,000 times 15.3%, that means I'm saving $10,710 in self-employment taxes every single year. So simply by having an S Corp, I'm going to be saving almost $11,000 more in taxes than you every single year. And the beautiful part about it is the more money you make, the more money you save. So again, guys, one of the most frustrating things for me is seeing entrepreneurs, is seeing business owners who are making 6 figures, 7 figures in net income, and they still have an LLC. They're getting killed in self-employment taxes. So if this is you, fret not, because I'm about to teach you exactly how to upgrade your LLC to an S corporation in a step-by-step walkthrough. So get your notepads out, because here we go. So this is Form 2553, And again, this is the only form you need to fill out when you want to upgrade your LLC to an S corporation, okay? So let's walk through this form, because if you do not fill it out properly, right, the IRS will reject it. You will not have your S corporation status, okay? Here's the first thing you want to know. All right, so we get this form, and the first thing you want to do is put the name here. You want to put the business's name here, not your name. You want to put the business's name here. And if you have LLC in your business name, you want to add that as well. So for me, it'll be Cofield Advisors LLC. Then you want to put your EIN, employer identification number, line. And again, your EIN is free off the IRS's website. Your EIN, think of it as your business's social security number, okay? So next thing you want to do is put your business's address on this form. Now again, if it's up to me, your home address won't be your business address, right? For more reasons than I have time to explain. But please, put your business address here. Hopefully it's different from your home address, right? The date of incorporation. So you're going to look at your articles of organization documents, the documents that you use to set up your LLC. Whatever date is on there, you're going to put the date in here. Okay, so this is the date your business was incorporated. And this line is going to show the city, state, town, and zip code that your LLC was created in. And then for the state of incorporation. So whether you incorporated Illinois, California, Georgia, whatever state you incorporated in, you put that here. All right. Now, part E of this form is very important, because this is saying, when do you want the election status to take place? And you want it to take place at the beginning of the year. You want it retroactively done at the beginning of the year. Okay. So this is going to be 1/1, whatever year that we want it done for. Then for part F, you want to just hit the calendar year. All right, now, this is very important. So you want to put your name, the owner's name here. If that's you, if you're the owner of this LLC, you want to put the owner's full name here, and you want to put president. Because now, when you're an S-Corp, you're going to be the president of this entity. So you want to put president there. Business phone number, this is fairly obvious. This is the business's phone number, so you put the business phone number here. Now, I can't believe I'm giving this away for free, y'all. So here's the problem about the S election, right? The IRS has a rule that you have to make the S election by March 15th of any given year. What they're basically saying is that you have from January to March 15th to know if your business is gonna bring in more than $40,000 in net income. The problem with that is most business owners don't know, right? They don't know if their business is gonna make over $40,000 a year within the first 3 months. They can have a crazy fourth quarter, right? Or a crazy third quarter and be like, oh, well, we're over the threshold, right? Because again, it's not revenue, it's net income. So even if you're making $50,000 of revenue, like if your expenses are $30K, then you're still under the guideline. So the IRS does this on purpose, because they don't want business owners making S elections late and saving on self-employment taxes. But there's specific verbiage that you can use that will guarantee that the IRS will allow you to make a S election in any part of the year. That means if you use the proper verbiage, you can be able to make your S election in November. So you can go from January to November and then have a better understanding of the actual revenue and net income of your business. And be like, oh, well, I want to make an S election, and I want to make the S election retroactively back to January. So you can wait till November, look at your profit and loss statement, make a decision, add this specific verbiage in this part of the form, and they will retroactively make you an S-Corp back into January of the year. This is crazy. Again, if it's earlier than March 15th, then you can leave this blank. If it's after March 15th, then you want to add this specific verbiage, right, to the form to make sure they accept it, okay? I really can't believe I gave it away for free. Like, I've filled this form out and I've charged $1,000 per form, and I've probably filled this out 2,000 times. Well, I'll probably filled it out 200 times. So I've probably made about $200,000 in my history of being a CPA filling out this form. And now, giving away for free. Hey, look, they say if you over-deliver, you'll be overcompensated. So we'll see. So you sign here, president here, date here. And this has to be a physical signature, guys. This has to be what's called a wet signature. This cannot be DocuSign signature. So you're going to have to print out the form and physically sign it, okay? You do a wet signature here, a date here, all right? Page 2 of the form, right? And you only need page 1 and page 2 of the form to fill it out properly, okay? Page 2 of the form, you're going to put the business name right here again, the EIN right here again, and the name and address of the owners goes in column J. So Carter Cofield, whatever my address is, that's gonna go in this column J. Name and address of each shareholder. If you have multiple owners, then you have multiple columns for a reason, okay? Then again, another signature here. Again, it has to be a physical, wet signature. It cannot be signed with DocuSign or any other platforms. Then you're gonna put the date here, the date in which you're completing the form goes here. Number of shares, 100% if you're the 100% owner, or if it's multiple owners, is 2 of you all, 50% each. You put the owner's percentage here, that matches whatever's in your operating agreement. Dates acquired, so whenever the date of you starting out the business, right? Social security number goes here of each owner, and then this part is gonna be 12/31 if your business has a 12/31 calendar year. And that's it, guys. You fill out page 1, you fill out page 2, and then you can either mail this form to the IRS or you can fax this form to the IRS, right? And the fax number can be found if you simply Google 2553 instructions, come to the IRS website, come to this, and then you scroll down. Depending on what state the entity is created in, is gonna be depending on the state that you send it in. So if you're in any of these states, here's the fax number, and here's the mailing address. If you're in any of these states, here's the fax number, and here's the mailing address. So it's gonna depend on what state the business was incorporated in. But guys, this is a full walkthrough of how to upgrade your LLC to the S corporation, and now you can do this on your own. You don't have to hire an expensive lawyer. You don't have to hire an accountant. I just gave you all the sauce for free. So all I ask in return is that you like this video, comment below, share it with a friend if it helped you out, because I just want to give back as much as possible. So I appreciate y'all. I love y'all for supporting. I love y'all for tuning in. I'll see y'all next time. Peace.